What's up, wrestling fans, and welcome to my WWE show review on Terminal Show, as I'm reviewing the Monday Night Raw before the premium live event Bad Blood this upcoming weekend, and we would see this Raw kicked off for the epic highlight video from last week's epic match, where we would see the Intercontinental Championship on the line with the champion Braun Breaker defending his title against main event Jey Uso, and WWE history would be made as we see Jey Uso win the match and get his first singles championship in his WWE career as he becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. And he would kick off Monday Night Raw coming through the crowd, and everyone was yeeting everywhere, man, as he comes out to the middle of the ring to thank the WWE Universe for this long road he's been on, as it's finally here. He finally did it and accomplished his goal of becoming a champion, and also because he was in the shadow of his brother and always known as a WWE Tag Team Champion. It's been hard, especially what he's went through with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, and he appreciates everybody in all of WWE Universe having his back and sticking with him. And he would also tell us about a really touching story as he opens up his hearts to everybody, talking about how he spoke to his mom before the championship match last week, and that's all he needed to go in there and win the title there. And what a touching moment, as this would also be interrupted by Braun Breaker, the former champion. How rude, but actually he will come out to show a sign of respect to Jey Uso, shaking his hand and also telling him that the better man won last week. What a touching moment here for these guys, a sign of respect. And also, before Braun Breaker left, we would see Jey Uso say, "Hey Braun, I think there's a bunch of dogs here in Indiana," as the crowd starts barking. And guys, it looks like Braun Breaker is turning babyface, and you heard it here right on Terminal Show, as that's what some news reports are saying, as we could see Braun Breaker turning from a heel to a babyface good guy now after this move. And what a way to open up Monday Night Raw, as we would see after this, guys, we would have Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan backstage near the badass lowrider that Dom's been riding in lately. And the rest of the Judgment Day would show up and say, "Hey guys, have you seen Finn Balor?" Because Finn Balor was missing. You know, it's JD McDonough, Carlito looking for him. And Liv Morgan would say, "No, we haven't seen him yet. I think Dom's on the phone with him right now." And Dom actually was talking to Finn, who says he wasn't going to be able to make it because of travel plans or travel delays, I suppose. And Liv, he said, "Tell Liv that the plan was on." Whatever that means, we'll have to find out later in the show. And then next up after this, guys, we have our first match of the evening, as it would be Rey Mysterio taking on Xavier Woods after last week's interaction, where Woods was a little bit disrespectful to Rey Mysterio and the LWO after Rey came up to apologize on trying to help them out and have their backs in their World Tag Team Titles match the week before. But Xavier Woods wouldn't have any of it, as he was very disrespectful to Rey, which led to Rey challenging Woods in this matchup. And we would see a very, very good match back and forth between these two, but a very controversial ending, as Xavier Woods actually pulled the mask off of Rey Mysterio, the luchador, the Hall of Famer, which you definitely shouldn't do, and he rolls him up to get the victory because he pulls off the mask. Like, a shady move here from Xavier Woods, and one that you're not expecting Woods to make, but whether he did it on accident or not, he gets the win here. Man, what a way to kick off Monday Night Raw in our first match of the night there. And then we'd also see backstage as Kofi Kingston actually confronts Xavier Woods, asking him why he did that and if he did it on purpose to win the match. And we would see Woods go, no, man, like, really, I didn't mean to disrespect the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio at all. But then we'd also see him kind of get a little upset because Kofi Kingston didn't ask him or congratulate him about how he got the match and it was a good win for him or something. So really, it's not tough to see this, man. Xavier Woods could be turning heel on us, but we would see Kofi Kingston actually come with good news for Xavier Woods, as we found out that Kofi Kingston would be able to get a championship opportunity against the new Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso. But after Xavier Woods kind of rolled his eyes a little bit, Woods would say, Kofi would say, "But Woods, guess what? I told Jey to give the championship opportunity to you." As it is official, guys, next Monday night, we will see Xavier Woods in an Intercontinental Championship match taking on Jey Uso. Wow, what breaking news coming from Monday Night Raw on this show. And hey, this is WWE show review on Terminal Show, man. We're just getting started here. So up next, backstage, we see Lala Valkyria getting ready for her match that she has up next against Zoe Starks, but she would be interrupted backstage there by Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler coming to try to intimidate her a little bit before her match there. That would be coming up next. And then we would see the next match of the night would be Zoe Starks taking on Lala Valkyria. And of course, the numbers game would play into this matchup as Zoe Stark would be able to get the victory in this one. And afterwards, we would see Pure Fusion Collective attack Lala Valkyria, but she would have backup as the tag team Kaden and Katana would show up returning from their injuries from a few weeks ago to be able to have the back of Lala Valkyria in this particular matchup here. And then next up on Monday Night Raw, guys, we would see GM Adam Pearce come down to the ring and he would be inside Hell in a Cell, and he would welcome CM Punk and Drew McIntyre to come out and face each other face to face one last time before Bad Blood, where they will be in a Hell in a Cell match. Oh man, guys, this was so intense. A bunch of security guards inside here trying to make sure these guys don't fight and kill each other, and Drew McIntyre would come out in a very all black tux, and he talked about that a little bit too, but also spoke to CM Punk saying, you know what, I hate you, I hate the fact that they chant your name, and I'm going to use that hate to destroy you, and once I destroy you and end you, CM Punk, you're going to take that hate with you, because that hate's going to die with you. And oh man, cryptic words from Drew McIntyre, and after it looked like CM Punk wasn't going to talk at all, he would then pick up the microphone to say some words to Drew McIntyre, and what I believe he would say is this, that Drew McIntyre, no matter what, I don't want to speak to a person like you, and I've actually had to stay away from my wife in a hotel for the last month as I prepare for this match. But know this, when I'm done with you, you won't be praying to God. You won't be praying to a devil. You'll be praying to me, CM Punk, who's going to take you out. Oh man. And he promises to make Drew McIntyre bleed and end him as well, as this is going to be one epic Hell in the Cell match. And well, man, what an epic Monday Night Raw so far, as this premium live event Bad Blood, that match card is stacking up, especially with this Hell in the Cell match. And then next up after this, guys, we would see a backstage interview with Braun Strowman that would be interrupted by The Miz, who was looking to sort of get some context and actually ask Braun about him interfering in his matchup where he was supposed to take on Big Bronson Reed the previous week. But these two would be interrupted by R-Truth, who makes his return to Monday Night Raw, and it would be so kind of bad timing as he interrupts Miz there trying to talk, and Braun Strowman would say he's got to leave to go get ready for his last monster standing match against Big Bronson Reed in the main event of Monday Night Raw coming up. Wow. And then we see next up after this, guys, another backstage interview, this one with Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn's been hounding Gunther for weeks now to try to get a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity, and we would see him speak about this in the interview, pretty much saying that Gunther, you can keep dodging him all you want, but you can't deny the fact that Sami Zayn was the last one to beat Gunther and pin him at WrestleMania, and he thinks because of that, Gunther is just dodging him and is scared of him to challenge him or let him challenge him for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then next up after this, guys, we have our next match of the night, as this would be a 6-man tag match, as we would see LWO face the Judgment Day. And of course, we would see an amazing matchup back and forth, but of course, Liv Morgan would get involved, distracting the referee, and of course, this would cost LWO the match after Finn Balor also comes out and interferes out of nowhere after we thought Finn Balor wasn't going to show up due to the weather delays, but no, he shows up nonetheless, as Judgment Day gets the victory over LWO. But that would not be all, as Finn Balor had some words for Damian Pierce, as he promises at Bad Blood to end him and prove why he was the reason why they don't need him, the Judgment Day, he needs the Judgment Day. And then we would see Liv Morgan get on the mic as she's trying to talk a little smack, if you will, about Rhea Ripley before their match. But then, out of nowhere comes Rhea Ripley. That's right, folks. She comes out to interrupt Liv Morgan in the Judgment Day and also brings out some props, as she's got the Shark Tank cage that Dominic Mysterio is going to be above the ring at Bad Blood during their Women's World Championship match. And man, then we would see shortly after this, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan start attacking each other and beating each other up after Damian Pierce comes out of nowhere to attack the Judgment Day members. And man, did they put him to it, as we would also see Rhea Ripley get her hands on Dominic Mysterio, throwing him into the shark cage, actually closing the door, but then Liv Morgan would come from behind and hit Rhea Ripley, beating her down, taking her backstage, and the same thing would sort of happen with Damian Pierce inside the ring, as the numbers games would catch up to him, as the Judgment Day would beat down Damian Priest in the middle of the ring. And guys, it would be the Judgment Day standing high and above, making a huge statement before the premium live event Bad Blood coming up up this weekend. Wow, the Judgment Day are in for business, making a statement here against Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. And then next up after this, guys, after we seen that interaction there, we would have our next match of the night, as we would see Kofi Kingston taking on Chad Gable with American Made at ringside, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. And we'd also see Kofi Kingston have Xavier Woods at ringside to have his back in this matchup. But actually, that turned out to be the problem, folks. Yes, and I know we've been talking about Xavier Woods going heel, and folks, it looked like he would try to help out Kofi Kingston in this matchup, tripping Chad Gable when the ref's back was turned. But when he tripped him, he actually messed up Kofi Kingston's Trouble in Paradise finishing move, which means he fell and got hurt and stunned, and Chad Gable was able to take advantage and get the victory over Kofi Kingston. And Kofi Kingston was not too happy with Xavier Woods after the match, folks. Oh, man, tough loss here for Kofi Kingston in this one, guys. And then next up after this, we would see a crazy, creepy video from the Wyatt Six, guys. Now, I'm not sure what exactly it is they're talking about. They're trying to warn somebody of like the path that they're going on. There's a QR code and everything to look at. So you'll have to check that out on WWE.com and the socials there to hopefully see what happened. I did try to see a little bit of it while I was watching the Monday Night Raw, but man, it is creepy. It is scary. And this Wyatt Six is definitely a faction that nobody in the WWE, no superstar, wants any part of or to mess with. This is creepy, folks, but still pretty cool too. And then next up after this, guys, we would see the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Gunther, come out to the middle of the ring and talk about how his life has been so hard and difficult lately, with Sami Zayn always around hounding him for weeks now over his title shot, or getting one, I suppose. And it wouldn't be long before Sami Zayn would come out and interrupt Gunther, saying, well, I'm the last person who beat you at WrestleMania, right? As Gunther would say, but Sami Zayn, you're not on my level, and you're never gonna be. And he goes, but then how did I beat you at WrestleMania if I'm not on your level? If you ask me, it sounds like maybe you're scared. And after we heard a story from Gunther talking about his father being disappointed in him after he lost at WrestleMania to Sami Zayn and how embarrassing that was, we would also see Sami Zayn use that for ammo for himself, as he would throw it right back in Gunther's face, calling him a coward, and that's how he looks in the eyes of his father. And of course, Gunther would retaliate and beat down Sami Zayn in the middle of the ring to make a huge statement, but he would also accept Sami Zayn's challenge, as it is official. It will be next week on Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. Sami Zayn, the challenger, going up against the champion, Gunther, the Ring General. Man, what an epic World Heavyweight Championship match that's going to be next week, folks. As we would see next up after this, our next match of the night, as we would see Awesome Truth taking on AOP after R-Truth confessed earlier to Miz that he got them a match from GM Adam Pearce to be in this matchup. Now, Authors of Pain is with the Final Testament, so Karrion Kross was out there along with AOP's manager, but we would actually see Karrion Kross was in the background of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods earlier during their interaction, and we know he's been kind of interacting with the New Day lately, but he's also been interacting with The Miz. So during this matchup, we would see Karrion Kross at the side over there where The Miz was to be R-Truth's partner, hounding him, talking to him, and I guess he got into Miz's head because, yep, we seen it, folks. Miz turns on R-Truth as Awesome Truth is no longer anymore, as we would see Miz cost R-Truth and his team the match, as Authors of Pain get the victory for Final Testament, and Karrion Kross seems to have gotten into the head of The Miz, and that match was not awesome. No, no, no. And then next up after this, guys, we would also see backstage the World Heavyweight Champion being interviewed after what happened and transpired with Sami Zayn, and being asked, hey, you know, even though he got under your skin, you accepted his challenge, which will be next week on Monday Night Raw. What do you have to say about that? And before he could really get any words out, he would be interrupted by Braun Breaker, who comes with not very many words to say, as he would just step up and go, hey, man, nice title you got there. And we would see Gunther look at his cohort there, Ludwig Kaiser, and look back at Braun and go, look, he is a badass. And then Braun Breaker would go, you know it. Pretty title you got there, man. I'll be seeing you around. Oh, man. man, Braun Breaker's turning babyface and he's already looking at the World Heavyweight Champion. Man, I tell you what, guys, we already know Sami Zayn's going to be taking on the World Heavyweight title, or taking on Gunther for the World Heavyweight title next week. But man, I cannot wait to see this potential matchup. Braun Breaker going one-on-one with Gunther. That's going to be one heck of a match to see one day, and we'll probably see it near the near future here. And then next up, guys, we have the main event of Monday Night Raw, as we see the last monster standing match, as it would be Braun Strowman, the big SOB, taking on the big Bronson Reed. And man, did we see one heck of a match in this one, as it starts out really quickly, guys attacking each other before they could even ring the bell, and then we'd see Braun Strowman putting big Bronson Reed through the announcer's table already early on in the match. But then we would see shortly after that, he would also take him and throw him through a bunch of chairs laid out. Man, it was bad looking. Reed definitely going through that was not feeling good, that's for sure. But Reed would get his payback, as we would see kind of around near the audience, kind of around the arena there. We would see a couple of tables up on a little patio area, or a little pavilion, little up area, where Bronson Reed would throw Braun Strowman through 2 tables. And guys, there's still more chaos that would happen throughout this match, as we would also see these two go through the front barrier in front of the front row of the audience, just beside the announcer's table, right behind the timekeeper's booth. Oh my goodness. And as that was happening, we'd see security come out. We see General Manager Adam Pearce come out. The ref is over there. They're trying to get some sort of order in together and trying to get the barrier wall back in front of the crowd there. But inside the ring, we would see Bronson Reed take advantage of this chaos and go and hit 2 tsunamis on top of Braun Strowman in the middle of the ring. But guess what, folks? He wouldn't get the count because the referee was too occupied over with what happened. So he puts his hands on some security. He puts his hands on the referee. General Manager Adam Pearce is not happy about this at all. It is looking bad, folks. It really is. But then we would see Braun Strowman out of nowhere jump off the top rope on top of security and Bronson Reed and take everybody out. And you thought that was the end of the match? No, 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 no. As both men were somehow able to stand to their feet, they get back into the middle of the ring. They start fighting it out, and Braun Strowman goes up to the top rope again. He's gonna do this again. Is he gonna do Bronson Reed's finishing move? No, no, no. Bronson Reed grabs Braun Strowman and throws him through the ring as the ring implodes. Yes, the ref falling out and everything. It was crazy. Oh my goodness. The ring collapsed. It was amazing. These two monsters in a last monster standing match. Oh my goodness. But man, how did this match end? Even more epic. As we would see the ref finally come to and go to start counting, and he's getting the count. He's going. Both men are sort of crawling, looking like they're going to get up. And then we see a stomp out of nowhere from you know who, Seth freaking Rollins, as he returns to Monday Night Raw and takes out big Bronson Reed to get his revenge, and shows that he is back on Monday Night Raw, as Braun Strowman is able to get the win, as he's able to stand at the last second to be able to win the last monster standing match, as Braun Strowman remains undefeated, as now he goes 5-0 in his WWE career in last man standing matches. Wow, what an epic way to end this Monday Night Raw. And this has been your WWE show review from Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more WWE show reviews and sports entertainment that you can only get right here on Tim Reynolds Show. And guys, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you guys so much. I appreciate, respect you, and thank you so much for supporting this sports entertainment, sports channel. Please check out Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and check me out for more football content, WWE content, NASCAR content, and just badass sports entertainment you can only get right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night.